I'm here with Penny Simkin. We are excited to interview her today and hear her stories and about her life and some information that might be beneficial to you. So, yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you. We are two women, Jana
and Katy, empowering women to experience new life as Yema mamas.
We are friends sharing our own lives and learning through childbirth,
motherhood,
singleness,
and womanhood to empower you to discover joy and spiritual well-being in all of life.
You are a woman created for wholeness. Hi guys, this is Jana with Yema Mamas, and I'm here with Penny Simkin. She is one of the founders of Doula International and PALS, and she is a childbirth educator, a doula trainer, and a retired doula herself.
I was an English major in college, which I never thought was going to pay off. When I was in college, I developed the Asian flu. I was in the infirmary for a couple of weeks because they had to isolate us. Mm-hmm. And there was an anatomy textbook that the doctor had that was there, and I was going through that, and I was fascinated with it. And it was during that time that I think that's when the seed developed to go into physical therapy. I was also an athlete, so the combination of being athletic and then having this knowledge of anatomy was very, very interesting. So I went to physical therapy school after I graduated from college. There's one story that I think is important that may have shaped me. I had no idea at the time. But when my first child was born, he was enormous. And the doctor, before that, during my pregnancy, I was in good health, and the doctor actually suggested that I have natural childbirth. I said, okay, sure, why not? I didn't know anything about birth. I had no fear, but I had no knowledge. And I thought, I'm healthy and strong, and people have done this forever. And then I went 22 days post-AIDS, and they induced finally. Anyway, long induction. I wasn't able to have the natural birth. I felt horrible that I hadn't had the natural childbirth that the doctor had suggested. I had him on a pedestal. You know, I was very, very young. And all I thought was I failed. And we stayed in the hospital for 5 days that was in 1961. The doctor came round on rounds, and it had been 2 days since I'd seen him. And it was August, North Carolina, no air conditioning. So it was hot as anything. Had the sheet pulled up over me. And he came in and he kind of grabbed my leg, my ankle under the sheet and gave it a shake and looked me in the eye and said, "What a trooper." And that told me that I had done a good job. And you see, my self-esteem depended on what other people thought of me. I was always worried about what other people were thinking. And I'm very grateful to this guy for saying that, because I think if he had said, you know, the woman down the hall gave birth, well, my son was 10 pounds 4 ounces. Wow. And if they had said, the lady down the hall gave birth to an 11-pounder all by herself, I think I never would have gone into this field. I would have just thought, I'm a failure at birth, and that's it. It never would have dawned on me. And I had 3 more kids. I had 2 natural births, and the 4th one was not natural, which was interesting. So I never got to do much except take care of kids, which I had bang, 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 4 of them. We moved out here, and I wanted to work desperately. I wanted to do something with my physical therapy. And we had one of my kids in a preschool, a cooperative preschool. And the president of the preschool was the president of the Childbirth Education Association. And I overheard her talking to a nurse about becoming a teacher. And I said, "Do you take physical therapy?" And she said, "Yes." And so I got into it that way. It's overhearing, and just by chance that I had a doctor that said the right things to me. I had no aspirations. I didn't even know. I thought, this is stupid. People don't need classes to have a baby. Honestly, that's what I thought. I thought maybe I can do something. And I started teaching in '68.
Wow.
And I've been doing it ever since. something, because I couldn't work full time. I mean, nobody worked full time, and I just wanted something I could do. This was one evening a week. I thought I have a right to do that. I mean, this is horrible, but this is the way women our lives were in those days.
Because you were with the kids.
Yeah. So
wow.
and
you started teaching.
I started teaching. Yeah. And I've always loved teaching. I used to teach swimming. Taught my sister how to clean my room. And I was really good at it. I could get her to do it, and I didn't have to do it. But yeah, I've always enjoyed teaching, so this was a good fit for me.
Yeah. That's beautiful.
Yeah, but it was all, I have this. There's a Quaker saying, "The way will open." I don't know if you've ever heard that, but I had no expectations, no plans, and I took this English literature degree. And I'm a writer, and I didn't think I'd ever be a writer, and then I fell into teaching, and things happened without my having any control over it. And I thought, I'm the luckiest person in the world. Wow. I'll tell you the way I became an activist. I had no desire to be an activist or to change things. And with my physical therapy is different from nursing in that a physical therapist is autonomous. The nurses have to take orders from doctors. So I had this feeling of some sort of equality with the physicians.
Okay.
And I was teaching birth and teaching about episiotomies. And I taught episiotomies if it was part of normal birth. Then I used to go down to the health sciences library because I wanted to be really smart and be able to teach the way the doctors wanted me to teach. Well, I started reading this stuff about episiotomy. It's not necessary. It's worse than, all the studies were in the UK. We had none in North America. And so I thought, oh my gosh, my colleagues, my friends, my doctor friends don't know about this. They're probably too busy. And I actually put together a packet of material and sent it to several doctors in Seattle. And all of a sudden I was labeled a radical. And you see, and I was so naive. I thought, I'm just going to help them out a little bit here. I would appreciate if somebody, gave me some information. And so there I was. And so it just kept happening. And now I can get angry. I can get angry sometimes about what's going on. But that really started it off, and I began to realize there's a big difference between me and them in my philosophy. And I was really studying a lot because I didn't learn much in physical therapy about birth, and I felt I really had to bone up a lot because I was very careful to stay with the science and the evidence.
And it didn't that didn't deter you when you realized that people were not receiving you the way you kind of might have thought.
Yeah, but I still thought, well, they just don't know yet.
They didn't know.
Yeah.
So they kind of
and I felt, I felt I had to tell the parents because they were the ones that were getting the episiotomies, and I'd had 4 episiotomies myself, and 2 of them were medial lateral, and 2 were midline. So I was sliced up. Never, I just thought that's the way it is. But when I realized that those aren't necessary much of the time, I thought I had to tell parents about that.
Yeah.
So
wow.
I just went ahead with the truth.
How many books have you written now?
Oh, there's some that aren't in print. Probably around 8 or 9. The birth partner and pregnancy, childbirth, and newborn, when survivors give birth, and the labor progress handbook are the biggest ones, and they're in 3rd, 4th, 5th editions now.
Right.
And then some of the others have not continued to be published.
What are the ones that are no longer in print?
I did one called Episiotomy in the 2nd Stage of Labor.
Oh, okay.
And
was that your first one?
No, my first one was called Talking About Childbirth.